In this video, we talk about the fastest way to raise your self-esteem. So if you're struggling with low confidence, low self-esteem, low self-worth, if you have a negative image of yourself, then this video is gonna give you a very simple way where you can start reversing this and start creating confidence, self-worth, and self-esteem deep within yourself. And this is one of those things that is extremely important, because if you are struggling with self-confidence, if you are struggling with self-esteem, it is affecting every area of your life, because it is rooted deeply in our identity, in our sense of who we are, right? And so what happens is that it starts to show and manifest in a lot of patterns, right? You may feel like socially anxious toward others. You may feel afraid to say no. You may have people-pleasing tendencies. You may have a lot of self-doubt in your ability to do something. You may have a lot of negative self-talk, criticizing, beating yourself up, always belittling yourself. You may have a lot of attack and hatred and resentment toward others. Or you may belittle others just to make yourself feel better. So you can see how low self-confidence can create a variety of patterns, of behaviors, and toxic behaviors that affect our finance, our relationship, our health, our sense of happiness and purpose, and every other area of our life. So if you are resonating with any of those, symptoms that I just shared, that means that you are struggling on some level with low self-esteem. And one of the patterns that I notice with my clients when it comes to self-esteem is that they have a lot of negative self-talk. Okay, because here is the thing, right? Your self-talk is a representation of your belief about yourself, what we call your identity, your self-image. So if deep down, subconsciously, you harbor a lot of negative feelings, or you think that you are imperfect, not lovable, that you're ugly, that you're too something, that you're broken in a certain way, or whatever those beliefs may be that created and shaped that identity, they are gonna show up in your thoughts, in your words, in your behaviors, in your decisions, and in your emotions. Okay, because it's nothing more than a representation of what you think about yourself deep down. So I observe often that the number one symptoms that my clients have when they struggle with self-worth or self-esteem is that they're very critical of themselves. Okay, they have a lot of negative self-talk about themselves and other people in form of judgment, right? So the self-judgment and then projection onto others and judging other people or the world. And this creates a very victim place, a victim consciousness, because when you are constantly judging yourself or judging others or the world, or finding that things are never good enough, or that you always feel like you're never good enough in a certain way, you end up feeling powerless, helpless, hopeless. And then you start to expect and look for something, someone, sometime to come and rescue you. And this is a definition of a victim. And the challenge of being a victim is that it is easy for the ego mind to keep you there. And it's extremely dangerous, because if you start being a victim and identifying with the victim, you're going to remain powerless to change your situation. So the fastest crazy way to change your self-esteem, to start to reverse this pattern, to start to rebuild a self-worth, self-confidence, and self-esteem that you deserve, is to simply start appreciating yourself where you are in your life right now as it is. You gotta stop that negative self-talk that goes into your mind constantly all the time, especially in those moments when you go on autopilot. Maybe you're brushing your teeth, you're taking a shower, you're cleaning the house, you're driving, you're doing some meaningless work, you're walking on the street, or you're driving something. When you're like on autopilot, doing those mundane activities that a lot of us do every single day, right? This is when the mind truly takes this opportunity. We were not paying attention consciously, and subconsciously those thoughts just boom, 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 become incessant. And in those moments, you gotta really pay attention, because those are the greatest opportunity for you to break that pattern. To not only notice it, to be like, whoa, 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 see, all my beliefs now are coming up. They're coming up from the depth of my subconscious mind. They're coming up in my stream of thoughts. So I must become mindful of them, aware of them, right? And now I gotta choose. I gotta choose if I'm going to continue to remain unconscious to that pattern and keep on letting those thoughts create fear and anxiety and shame and guilt and despair and victimness in myself? Or am I gonna break that pattern and I'm gonna change how I see myself? And the fastest way to do that, the fastest antidote toward all that negativity is appreciation. So you gotta start learning, conditioning yourself to appreciate yourself. And a lot of people struggle a lot with that, because often what happens when you struggle with low self-esteem is that when people give you compliments, you brush them off. No, it's no big deal. What are you talking about, right? They give you a gift and you feel uncomfortable. You feel like you don't deserve it. And you know, it's like then you try to make up for it. So those are big symptoms that you're really uncomfortable with receiving love, receiving attention, receiving significance, just receiving for no reason, being appreciated for no reason. And now you gotta learn to do that for yourself, because you cannot fully feel appreciated and good about yourself by other people and by the world if you are unable to do that to yourself. That's why they say you can only love others to the extent that you love yourself, and that comes first. Learning to appreciate yourself leads to self-love. Okay? Just like criticizing yourself, belittling yourself leads to self-hate, right? It's common sense, right? It either goes to love or it goes to hatred, dislike, anger. Okay? So the quality of your thoughts that you have in those moments throughout the day must change. You must have like that polarity shift from the darkness into the light. And so if you truly want to change your self-confidence and break down all those patterns and actually see how you're gonna benefit from greater self-worth, greater self-esteem, greater confidence, and how deeply impactful it can be in your life, it can start as simply as you appreciating yourself. So you may be like, how does that look like? How do I do it? Okay, maybe you're driving your car, you're driving your bike, you're driving to a place, grocery, work, whatever. You can just start appreciating, I can appreciate the fact that I know how to drive. I'm a safe driver. I can appreciate the fact that I just know that. Now you may be like, well, that's kind of lousy and shitty. Everybody knows how to drive, right? But that's not the point. The point is to simply find as many aspects about yourself that you can appreciate now, that you've been taking for granted, that you've been seeing as just being meaningless, trivial, unimportant, insignificant. And that is simply a reflection of how you see yourself. So you can appreciate you being healthy, you can appreciate you just having accomplished all those things in your life, you just being where you are in your life, you looking that certain way, you having your own unique voice, your own unique thought, you living where you live, you, everything about you. You can appreciate yourself for no reason. And if you struggle to find reasons to appreciate yourself, make them up. Okay? Look back in your past, look at your life recently, look at everything you've done well. Maybe you've helped a stranger to pick up something on the floor and you hand it to them. You can appreciate that you have that kindness in you to do something good for a stranger. Maybe you've been walking down the street and you've just been appreciating that beautiful dog and smile at the dog and add a nice thought toward the dog. You can appreciate that you have that love in yourself, that compassion in yourself, that ability to see beauty in the world. No matter how much you can appreciate yourself, you must learn to do that. And you must let those become deeper and deeper and deeper. And you gotta start emotionalizing this. Because you must undo the years, the decades of talking badly about yourself, of feeling shy, of feeling like a victim, of having all that shame, all that guilt, all that anger, of belittling yourself, of always playing modest and humble and always trying to be nice and pleasing others and seeking external validations and all those judgments that you have toward the world, all those things that comes in your thoughts, right, and in your behaviors and in your emotions. You must break that pattern. And you must do that by appreciating yourself as much as you can. And if you want to go even further and faster, appreciate others as well. If you really want to stretch yourself, learn to appreciate the people that you criticize and judge the most. Because when people struggle with low self-esteem, They usually look at other people's flaws, and they, in their thought, in their perception, project their not good enough onto others. And so they criticize, they find things that annoy them, they find things they do wrong, they find their flaws, and they just capitalize on those in their thought to make them feel better a little bit about themselves. So instead of seeing wrong in others, just like you do in yourself, because that's a projection, start to appreciating all the things they do right. Start to appreciate their beauty, their humanness, their compassion, the things they do right, just them being as they are right now, perfect. And if you can start appreciating yourself and others, I guarantee you that if you stick to that for at least 30 days, you will become a different person and your life will start to change dramatically. So it's up to you now to go and appreciate yourself and write down in a comment what can you appreciate about yourself in your life today, and keep appreciating yourself any chance you get because you deserve it. All right, guys, so let me know what you think down in a comment. As always, thank you for watching this video. I will see you next time. Be well. I appreciate you.